It does not matter if you have a cell phone or a big expensive DSLR camera. There are certain ways to take photos that produce better shots. There are techniques that if you're aware of them, you will greatly improve your photography if you use them. The techniques discussed in this video are not groundbreaking ideas. They are really just fundamental principles of art. These principles have been around long before cameras were ever invented. What we're going to do in this video is just show how they apply to the field of photography. I want to point out that these creative principles are independent of whether you have a good camera or not. They're also independent of you knowing how to use it. They sort of sit on top of everything. These principles are what make your photography come alive. Now that we've done the philosophical rants, let's begin. Number 1. Don't put your subject in the center of your picture. Resist the urge to put your subject in the center of your picture. Everyone on the face of the earth, when given a camera, defaults to that. It will be your natural impulse to do the same thing, but don't. When your eye looks at a picture, your eye naturally goes to the center of the photo. If it finds what it's looking for, it loses interest and then moves on. That's bad if you want someone to be interested in your photos. The way to trap the viewer's attention on your picture is to move your subject away from the center. Doing so will force the viewer to look around your photo longer, looking for the subject of the photo. In the photography world, they call this the rule of thirds. The best way to describe this is just to show you. The rule of thirds is when you take a picture and divide it into thirds. Wherever the lines cross in the picture is the creative place to put your subjects. Professional photographers use this technique all the time. To help you out, some cameras will even display these lines on the heads-up screen of your camera. It's a way of reminding you of the principles before you snap the picture. I just want to point out here, although it's good to put your subjects where these lines intersect, they don't have to be 100% exact. You can give yourself a little creative leeway. What is important, though, is that you're aware and mindful of this principle. Second, the rule of red. Your eye naturally goes to the color red. It's a natural instinct. You do it without even thinking. Make sure that the red in your picture does not compete with your subject. Or better yet, make whatever is red in your picture the subject of your photo. Just remember and be aware of the fact that the human eye always is drawn to the color red. Number 3. Simple subjects are powerful. If you put the subject of your picture in a simple background, it makes the subject of your picture more powerful. You force the viewer to only look at what you want them to look at, not the distractions in the background. Learn to get rid of the clutter. When you're ready to take your photo, ask yourself, is there anything in the picture that's going to compete or be distracting to the subject of my photo? You may find that taking a picture from a different angle or moving your subject to a suitable background will greatly improve your photos immensely. Number 4. Framing. You do not use this technique on every picture, but it is a creative way to take a photo. Framing is when you use windows, buildings, or pretty much anything to put a frame around the subject of your picture. It's a way to trap the viewer's eye in your photo, not allowing it to leave. With this technique, I use 2 types of framing: hard framing and subtle. Hard framing is when it's so obvious that you know the photographer was mindful of this when he took the picture. Subtle framing is, well, subtle. Subtle framing is when you cannot tell that the photographer is mindful of it in the picture, but they're secretly using the technique to trap your eye in the photo. Subtle framing is when you're unaware that the technique is being used. Number 5. Leading the eye. Use roads, branches, rivers, clouds, and fences to lead people through your picture. Doing so invites the viewer's mind on a walk through your photo. Once again, the longer it takes someone to wander through your picture, the better. When you combine this technique with rules of thirds, your picture becomes even more powerful. It almost gives your picture a surreal 3D effect. Number 6, perspective. If you give someone a camera and tell them to take a picture, most people stand at eye level and take the picture. Although sometimes that is a good way to take the photo, if we do it all the time, all our pictures start to look the same. It's almost like you need a different perspective to get a different picture. I use the same principles in my outdoor photography as well. I continually ask myself after I've taken the typical eye level shot, is there any way that I can take this picture so that it would be more interesting? If I took it from a different angle, would it look better? As a result, you will often see me laying on the ground. You will wonder why I'm taking a picture over there when the subject's over here. Those who are not artistic have no clue what you're doing. They laugh at you, but you get the good shot. Perspective is never the same. It's always changing. It's always different. What I would suggest is try it from one way, and if that didn't work, try it from another. Take 20 photos of the same subject from different angles and then analyze which one was the best. Keep working at it until you have many ways that can yield unique perspectives in your photos. Try and stay open to new ways of thinking about your pictures. Sometimes even mistakes make you stumble across new ideas. Number 7, negative space. Blank space, repeating space, and empty space that all looks the same. Negative space is the technique that once you're aware of it, you can use it to your advantage when taking your photos. Negative space can improve your shots, and negative space can also ruin your shots. It depends upon how you use it. It depends upon how you use it to bring focus on your subject. Once you're aware of it, turn the negative space in your photos into a positive. Number 8, wherever the eye looks. If there's a person in your picture, your eye will look in the direction that the people in your photo are looking. It's like the rule of red. You can't stop yourself from doing it. You want to see what they're seeing. When we are aware of it, we can use it to our advantage. It follows the same principles of leading your eye. Use it to draw the viewers through your photo. Once you're aware of this principle, you will want to put more space on the opposite side of where the person is looking. You don't want to lead the viewer's eye out of the picture. You want the viewer to look at the subject of the picture, not leave it. One last point that I want to bring up here. Rules are meant to be broken. Don't think that you will never again put your subject in the center of the picture. Don't think that every photo has to follow the rule of thirds or it's a bad picture. The trick is to follow the rules but know when to break them. I will quote Picasso here. Learn the rules like a pro so that you can break them like an artist. A majority of the time you're going to abide by the rules of art, but understand that sometimes breaking the rules gives you the most artistic shot. There are many more techniques to improve your photos, but these are just a few to get you going. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Have fun and keep shooting.